Alright, so I had a student ask to go over a problem where we justify our steps in solving an equation. So I wanted to do that. So I created an equation here, 3 times x minus 2 equals 2x plus 10. And I just wanted to solve this problem for x, but I wanted to justify all my steps. So the first thing I would do is I see this 3 here on the outside the parentheses, so I'm going to distribute, and I'm going to change colors real quick. But I'm going to take this 3 and I'm going to distribute it in here. And so what that would give me is 3x minus 3 times negative 2 minus 6 equals 2x plus 10. Now here's the thing though, what justifies us to distribute this 3 in here? And what justifies, or the property that tells us we're allowed to do that, is called the distributive property. So our justification would be distributive property. I'm just going to put prop, so hopefully you can see that. Alright, so next I'm going to change colors again. Use a little pink here. So the next thing I would do is I see that I have x on both sides, and remember, if we're trying to solve for x, we're trying to get x by itself. So we need to first move one of those to the other side. And I'm going to move the 2x by subtracting 2x here. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. These go away. On the right side we're left with 10. And on this side we're left with just 3 minus 2, which is 1, which we can write 1x, or we can just write x. And so we're left with x minus 6 equals 10. But here's the question, what justifies, or what allows me, what rule tells me I can subtract 2x from both sides? And the rule that tells me to do that is the rule that says if I add something to both sides of the equation, I don't change, if I add the same thing to both sides of the equation, I don't change the equality of the equation. And what tells me that is the additive alright, sorry, I got to switch over here. Is the additive property of equality. And I'll write this one out. Oops, that should be just an L. I'm sorry for my handwriting. I got this new pad and I'm just getting used to it, so I'm not perfect with it. And so we're still not finished though, because we still don't have x by itself, so we still got to get rid of this minus 6 here. And before I move on though, some may say, well, I didn't add though, because I subtracted 2x from both sides. But remember, subtracting is the same thing as adding a negative. So if I subtract 2, it's the same thing as adding negative 2. So you can say even that I added negative 2 to both sides, if you want to say that. So you can put subtractive property, that's fine, but the more proper way would be to say the additive property. And then the last step here is let me switch to green here, is add 6 to both sides. So that will go away. You get x equals 16. And again, what justifies me to add something to both sides? Well, we just said that. It's the additive property, so I'm just going to put these nice little quotation marks to show that this is the same one for the same justification for this step. And there are other steps, other things to justify. We have the multiplicative property of equality, which says that we can multiply both sides by the same thing without changing it, and other things. We just have to make sure we know what the properties mean. And if you have a question about what some of the properties mean, definitely ask me and I can make a video on that. But this is what it means to justify. We would take a step and then we say, okay, what property says I'm allowed to do that? Please, again, if you have any other questions, let me know. Hope you have a good day, and that should be the end of the video.